threshold. You niggas ain't working, I'm on my next level. I'm a Ritter boy in every fashion, no talking, just make it happen. I used to spend it, but now I really like stacking. Hustle like I ain't got nothing. Searching for another client, you look just like you wanted something. I can sell you anything that you want. Would you like some pussy or a fresh batch of them OG Kush cookies? Put your order in. The bag just dropped. I don't know. After here, I might just stop. Shit got hot, so I let the frost like out. Ain't no way I'm gonna treat you like a black. Take routes needed if you plan on succeeding. All the niggas in the basket, boy, you look depleted. Hard hand, make a soft ass, the brain, make the business last.
So with that, let's head over to the heart of Texas. Massive AT&T Stadium in Arlington. On the call.
All right, put in work. Cowboys. I have that though.
Lurching closer toward the midway point of this NFL season, and we're underway on EA Sports. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. So here are the Cowboys now ready to go on offense for the first time. And leading them out there, their 6'5" quarterback.
This could be a whole lot of fun because if his game plan goes into effect early, we're going to see some shots downfield, aren't we? What did he talk to us about? Stretching the field. Wants to open things up for not just his receivers, but for anything underneath.
Well, that was the theme, the front page of the sports section. One of the columnists write, possible air raid. So we'll see.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see how the coaches view that, right? Who gave away the game plan? I think it's pretty obvious, though. That'll help them win.
Now the first carry for Ezekiel Elliott. And he'll get this from the 25 to the 30 for a pickup of 5.
Offside defense.
Well, we looked at each other right when he flinched. We knew that that flag was coming.
Yeah, offsides, easy call, mark off the 5, and keep it moving.
A boost here to start the drive. After the penalty, it's 1st and 5. Here's Elliott. That good for 19 and a first down.
And there we see an early burst that makes him one of the leading rushers in the league.
Well, I want you to know, I listened to you yesterday when we were watching film. You said write down the word vision for him. It was on display there, wasn't it?
It certainly was, because he allows the blocks to set up in front of him. And if that continues, it could be a long afternoon for those guys trying to play some defense.
So one play, and they're already just shy of midfield. They keep on the ground with Elliott. And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. That burst good for 20 and a first down. A tough run by Ezekiel Elliott, the 4th overall pick in the 2016 draft.
If you watch tape of him in college, you saw plenty of those runs, because I know the highlights showed him in the open field breaking away from people, but that's how he wore down defenses, those exact type of runs.
Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on first down. The first carry now for Tony Pollard, and he'll be brought down at the 27-yard line. They give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6. And on this offensive unit, your thoughts on Travis Frederick?
He's a quarterback's best friend. Sets all the line calls and blocks so aggressively.
Hey, did y'all see how, did you notice how good the offensive line was on the game yesterday?
The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6. On second down, it's Pollard, and he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. That'll set him back with a loss of 3 on the play, and they're going to have a 3rd down.
Another scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker, and what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
To throw on third down. Rhodes. He's got his target. It's Cobb.
Run the Cobb, baby.
They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. So opening drive, third down, they go with a slant. It works.
And I'm wondering when the league's going to figure it out because everyone throws it on third down. You expect pressure, so you want the ball in the hands of the quarterback quickly. It's a 3-step route ordinarily, and you're throwing it where you see the receiver breaking towards you. So it's an inside route. Everyone likes it, and it's executed very well.
I got to get one to Coop.
Single.
From the gun, Rhodes. To the goal line, but it's incomplete. Intended that time for Cooper, but it'll be 2nd and goal. Time for a look at the defensive starters now for the Rams. They were excellent a week ago in the victory over Arizona.
Have to admit, I was extremely impressed by what I saw. They ended up getting 4 sacks in the game, stayed in the face of the quarterback the entire time, made it difficult for him to step up and find receivers downfield.
And that's what they told us this week, that pressure on the QB is key. Here's 2nd and 8. Being chased out left. And he's taken down, trying to do a little too much, getting outside of the pocket, and it results in a sack.
2nd goal, last thing you need to do is get pushed backwards to take a sack, but he couldn't find anywhere to go with the football, had to eat it, and ended up on the ground.
Following the sack, they go from the 13 on 3rd and goal. Operating from the gun, Rhodes. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete.
Nice play there to force the incompletion, and to me, one thing's for sure. When you're the underdogs and you're playing on the road, you absolutely have to get takeaways. You've got to get the ball from them.
Yeah, win that turnover battle, going to be key. They didn't get one there, but you get the feeling they keep making plays like that, they might just get a few.
Yeah, once you get one, defensive teams think they come in bunches.
Able to move the ball on that drive. Yes, just 3 points, but 4 first downs were in there.
Yeah, and you can look at it and feel pretty good about the whole thing and think, okay, this should continue throughout this ball game. On the flip side, if you're a defender,
Cowboys whooped
it's
ass
almost like
yesterday.
we only gave up 3. They moved the ball on us pretty
I
well.
hope they can continue doing that.
The kickoff unit is out on the
keep
field, and
Dak
they will
Prescott
send
keep
this
doing
one
what he
away.
doing.
This fielded at the 2. And he'll take this one near the 25, call it the 26-yard line. So out come the Rams now for their first possession. They'll be led out by their quarterback, the guy out of California, the former Cal Bear, Jared Goff.
And his stat line last week, that's not going to get him to the Pro Bowl.
And that
All right,
offensive
no
line stay
touchdowns, no
healthy,
interceptions,
man.
but they won. And so the bottom line for him is team won, managed the game effectively, led them to victory. He's doing all the right things.
That offensive line yesterday, it looked like the Great Wall of Dallas.
26.
For real.
A play fake to Gurley. Now Goff. And that one's complete to Gurley. And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves him with 2 to go on 2nd down.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
Facing a 2nd and 2 after that last catch, good for 8 yards. They go play action with Gurley. Now Goff. And the Cowboys pressure gets there this time for the sack. Jalen Smith came in there hard on the blitz and got him down 9 yards behind the line of scrimmage.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
So Goff, he'll try to refocus after the sack. The Rams now set up with a tough one, a 3rd and long. Out of the gun, Goff. Open man right side is Cup, complete. The completion good for only 6, and that'll bring up 4th.
There's an example of good situational football being played by a defense. They understood what the third down play was, the down and distance, and made sure that they didn't get anywhere near that, bringing up fourth down.
Yeah, they were sniffing out that marker, didn't want to let him get close to there, and now a likely 3 and out to start.
Yeah, I love the way they rallied to the football, got to him, and made sure he didn't give up much run after catch.
And let's gaze our attention on Ezekiel Elliott. Those are his numbers through roughly the first half of the season, and given that, you'd have to think he's on pace for a 1,000-yard campaign.
Steady as he goes, steady goes the offense, but you know what else is happening too, because they are a team now recognized with the ability to run the football. You've got to be able to throw it better now, right? Better throwing lanes, better opportunities for the guys downfield, maybe more one-on-one coverage, which you should be able to beat easier. Yeah, he's establishing not just a tone, but an identity for his team.
And that's a discussion we had a couple days ago in the team meetings, talking about this running game, opening up the passing game. We'll see if that continues to happen. Well, they're making a real first-quarter statement with a run game, no doubt.
For those who remember old-school football, running it, establishing things, seeing backs find holes, get through them, they've got to like what they're seeing from this unit so far. Right now, they've decided to, as you've said, establish the run game, and they've been successful doing it.
23 yards on the pickup there and a first. One thing's for sure, this defense has to figure out how to stop the ground game. He's eating them up here in the first quarter.
It looks like they have to go to different forces, aren't they? The conventional things aren't working too well. So I remember a coach of mine saying way back when a back's having a great game, you've got to get the ball out of his hands. See how far he can run without the ball. And what he meant was takeaways, not get loose, because maybe you can't just stop him with just regular tackling.
And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. Another good gain. That's now 35 yards combined on those last two plays. Getting the sense, Charles, they're going to put a big emphasis this afternoon on the run game.
And why not? What we're seeing so far, working pretty well from them. And here's the best part. We always talk about the best performers do their job when the lights come on. I think he likes natural light best.
From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. They'll try the right side with Elliott, and he'll be taken down as that will take us to the end of the first quarter of play. 3-0 after 1 on EA Sports. Three yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7. Here's a 2nd and 7. To the right side, he's got Cooper. It's complete. And this is going to be another first down as the tackle's going to be made at the Rams' 13-yard line.
It's just me and you. It's just me and you. It's just me and you.
The first down carry by Elliott. And he'll be taken down at the 2-yard line. Back-to-back nice plays, 12 yards that time and a first down.
This guy's well on his way now to a big game on the ground. It's another good run there. Puts him over the century mark in yardage, and we're still in the second quarter.
Go now, 50, plant.
How about them Cowboys?
Let's get out the field, defense.
They'll try to run it in with Elliott. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down.
That's a really alert defense there because they saw the heavy look come in from the offense, countered it with extra linebackers who brought a little bit of speed and heft, and able to really make a big-time play for their defense.
One man in the backfield, that's Elliott on 2nd and goal.
You draw quarters.
2nd and 5. And he is going to go down. Back at the 11-yard line. Aaron Donald in there to get him, and that is sack number 6 now for him on the year.
Well, in my time in football, I've yet to see a playbook that draws up offensive plays designed to lose yardage. A running play loses yardage on first down. They try and throw it, take a sack on second down. What can the offensive coordinator come up with here on third down?
Eluding the pressure right. He can run for it, and he will. And he takes this down to about the 2 before going out of bounds. Give him 8 yards that time on the scramble, and now fourth down.
Well, partner, nothing comes open here, so he decides to escape out of there, and he doesn't pick up a first down, but he does gain additional yardage to set up a possible field goal attempt if they decide to go that route.
So out comes a field goal team now for the second time here today. From the right hash at a bit of a tight angle. The kick by Marr is good. And they're able to double their lead in this first half. It's 6-0. So scores on their first 2 possessions, but 6-0, so field goal is probably not what they were hoping for.
Man, you're exactly right about that. Not what they were hoping for, but they should be happy that they have points on the board. It almost feels like that old slow and steady wins the race, doesn't it? In this case, though, they want to be slow and steady now, but get explosive later and put the points up on the board.
That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. So here are the Rams to take over. They were losers a week ago to Arizona, but they're on top here as they start this drive with a 1st and 10. Goff will lead the Rams up here 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. Play action. It's Goff. He's going to dump it off to Gurley. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. They went 3 and out on their first drive. Things already looking better here, 1st and 10.
We can talk all we want about football being a game of strength and brawn. It's also a game of mismatches, and they're trying to create one there, getting it to their back out of the backfield to make a bigger play.
As we often say, get it to him in space, let him use his leg.
Yeah, if he can get a matchup against a linebacker or maybe a defensive end dropping out in a zone blitz, he's going to win that battle just about every time. I think they like this drive a little bit better there, partner. Running game helping out, picking up some of the slack. Because remember the last drive, they went 3 and out.
Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. They'll fake the handoff. Now Goff. He's going to air one out. And that is incomplete. Took a shot there on first down, but he couldn't reel it in.
Well, that certainly looked like something that they discussed all week in practice getting ready for this one. Take the big shot right out of the gate. At worst, you'll open up the defense a little bit, loosen them up, have them back on their heels.
So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. Goff now looking to throw. Hits his target, the tight end, Will Tye. And he'll be brought down at the 45-yard line. That throw good for only a couple. It brings up 3rd down.
And, partner, I think that's a great example that not all tight ends are created equal. Because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
Second quarter action with 1:59 remaining. Coming up at halftime, we remind you once again that we're going to check in with Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have stats and scores from around the NFL as we reach now, hard to believe, the halfway point of the season. Time flying.
It certainly is. Time to get the sweaters out, my man.
It's a gain of 7, and it'll be 4th down.
A short gain that doesn't get them the first down brings up a 4th down situation.
Really nice job defensively. They knew where the sticks were. They got the stop before it.
Under review.
The Rams take over 1st and 10 at the Cowboys 38.
After review of the play.
So the challenge comes in inside of 2 minutes, and it gets overturned.
And it changes the whole format of what's about to happen because both sides had thought a certain call had been made. Now they have to flip back and start over.
It'll be a pickup of just 2, and it'll make it a 2nd down. And they're trying to line up quickly here. Goff urging them on. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. A gain of 4 on the play, and all of a sudden here it's 3rd down. And on 3rd down, the Cowboys bring in an extra defensive back. Again, Goff. Under pressure, and he will go down. Sacked back at the 38. Antoine Woods in there to drop it for a 6-yard loss, and that will lead to 4th down. And they weren't in zone coverage. They were in man, and each man did his job.
And that looked like vintage, old-school coverage, didn't it? Man coverage reminded me of an old Raiders team. They had a Hall of Famer at one corner and a Defensive Player of the Year at the other, and they just locked people down.
Here's Johnny Hacker now, as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. Time here for likely a couple plays if they want it, but with the field position what it is, maybe better suited to just sit on this one?
I'm with you totally. I would sit on it and get into the locker room and start over. But if they do decide to try and make a play, we know what the basics are. You run draw, you run screen. Maybe run a little swing pass and try and get my lineman out in space and see if they can chop a hole into the secondary and see if he can run a little bit. Just like that, out of danger and up past the 40 now for 1st and 10. Off play action. Rhodes looking deep in the direction of Cooper. And that is incomplete. 2 seconds left on the clock. Amari Cooper, the intended target. And it's 2nd down. Trying to get one more in here before the quarter breaks.
Watch time. Tie it right.
A final shot before break. Rhodes. He's going to rifle one deep left side. And this is going to wind up incomplete. The coverage there too strong on the deep ball, and now they face a 3rd down.
All right, this halftime.
All right, Brandon, thanks very much. Hi again, everybody. Let's get you caught up with what's going on around the league here in the unofficial midway point, week 8 of the NFL season.
But that running game is out the chain.
We'll get started up at FedEx Field in our nation's capital. And those two are...
Well, why don't we hold off on the halftime update after all? Seems like everyone's ready to go here for the 2nd half in Week 8 in the NFL. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. This fielded at the 2. And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. And now out on the field, here comes Los Angeles. And with the way this offense has played thus far, to be frank, they got to feel pretty grateful to be in the ball game.
I would agree with you totally, because they've done all of nothing offensively in this game, yet they still find themselves in a position on this drive where a touchdown can give them the lead. They need to take advantage of it.
And they're still looking for that first touchdown here in the 3rd quarter. All they have so far, the field goal. And the last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7. They'll stick to the ground game with Gurley. And he'll lose yardage here, going down back at the 28. He lost 2 there, and it's 3rd down.
I think it's pretty evident. We can say what a difference a week makes. Last week, he ran pretty much wild, didn't he? Did pretty much what he wanted to do. But this one, they've stopped him cold. That, to me, that's good scouting and even better execution.
Yeah, and they stopped him behind the line right there. They obviously watched the tape a few times and made some adjustments. Throwing on 3rd. Goff. That's going to be complete to his tight end, Everett. And they work this well upfield across the 45. First time they've looked his way in this game. He comes through, picking up the first.
Well, it certainly feels like there are more stars at the tight end position than there were even 10 years ago. And I think it's become more of a glamour position because of the ways it can hurt a defense, and guys want to be involved. They can be in line, close to the line of scrimmage. They can split out like receivers. But hands, route running, speed, and some toughness to go across the middle, you put it all together, you got a heck of a tight end candidate.
The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9. A shotgun snap for Goff. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's 2nd down. We have not seen a whole lot of wide-open receivers. Everything seemingly has been contested.
And that's another nice job there to force an incompletion. They've been very cohesive, knowing each other's moves all game long, and they've been on the spot just about every time.
And they've held them in check on the scoreboard. Out left, he's got it to Everett. And they'll get him down about 3 yards short of the first. The completion good for only 6, and that'll bring up 4th.
He wasn't the primary target, but I think it was almost like a check down situation, wasn't it?
Yeah, hoping he can break some tackles, a big tight end, but he couldn't do it.
Yeah, get it to that big frame and hope he can scatter some bodies, unable to get it done.
Here's Johnny Hacker now as he's on to punt for L.A. The Cowboys offense now, they head out for their first possession of the second half. They have the lead here. Well, we talk a lot about pregame speeches. What are halftime speeches like?
For the most part, not nearly as emotional. They're a lot more clinical. Every now and then, though, they'll get after you if they think they need to light a fire. But in this case, let's go into the virtual locker room, because here's what I think happened. They got in there and they said, listen,
weaving through traffic, and now he's free. The 20. Touchdown, Cowboys. Tony Pollard, 82 yards.
82 yards.
And the Cowboys, they push out in front further. Well, they had their chances in the first half, you remember, but had to settle for 2 field goals. This time they come away with 6.
I think they actually got affirmation about what they were doing by getting a touchdown, because the field goals means they got in range but couldn't quite finish it off. This time, they broke through, and that's great for the old confidence.
And on the sideline, difference of a feeling between 3 and 6, is it astronomical or no?
It can be at times, that's for sure. A lot of times the field goal feels like a disappointment. The touchdown, well, that tells you you're getting it done.
Back to throw. Rhodes. That is caught. He's got it. And the lead will move to 14-0. So they're able to throw it in for the 2-point conversion. Sometimes that can be a risky play, but they got it.
Yeah, you always have to be careful here, because if you do get it intercepted, it's returned by the defense, that's 2 points for them. But he identified an open target and put it right on him.
Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This one fielded at the 5. And a good return as he'll be stopped just shy of the 30-yard line. Here's the Los Angeles offense as they get set to take possession. The results for them so far not that great. Well, not good at all. 3 drives, 3 punts.
Yeah, and now what you're doing is you're looking at your play sheet. You're trying to figure out what you're going against defensively. I wonder, are they showing them something they haven't seen or anticipated in practice, and maybe that's throwing them off? Or do they just have to go to a different play calling section and try and run some offense that way?
Goff will lead the Rams up here, 1st and 10, just shy of the 30. From the gun, here's Goff. They'll find Everett there, complete. And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. A gain of 6 there on 1st. You know, despite the scoreline, I think they've got to like where they are here. They're on the road and just one big play away from getting right back in this game.
I'm going to follow right along with you, because the spot they're in now is a credit to their defense. They've kept them in it by making the plays that they've made, and that just means you're one big score away from being right back there.
Now the question is, can this offense step up and make that play? Because that's been an issue for them in this game.
Boy, he does it at a high level, doesn't he? Because when I watch him, I think of his vision. Straight ahead, peripheral, also has that sense of where holes are going to be before they actually open. I think that helps set him apart from many of the other backs in the league.
Nothing in that first half, nothing on the last drive, but they're moving now with a 1st and 10. A little bit of daylight on that first down run sets them up nicely. 8 yards on the carry. Just what you want on a first down run. Call it 8 yards, and it's 2nd and 2. Here's Gurley now out of the gun.
He hasn't had a ton of success here so far, but you get the feeling that he might be on the verge of popping one.
Yeah, even on that one, there was a little bit of a hole, but it closed there quickly at the end. 6 yards to pick up, and that's a first down. Still in search of their first touchdown of the game, but they're on the move. 1st and 10. They'll try the air now with Gone. Throw complete right side to Cooks. A gain of 6 there on first.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target, and he's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage, knew where the pressure was going to come from, and said, I know how to beat that. And that's what he did.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. They'll try and pick up the first with Gurley. Boy, no chance as he was met and dropped behind the line there. Back now in Arlington. It's the Rams trailing, but they do have the football as we start the 4th and final quarter. All right, they're going to try and keep hope alive here on 4th down. They're going for it. They go ahead and snap it. Gone. Man open, it's Cup. He's got it. And he's going to get this inside the 30. The time to pull out the stops is now, and they convert there on 4th down. 4th down, trailing in the 4th quarter. They felt compelled to go for it, and they got it.
Well, I'd look down at my play sheet, and what I would find, plays have been successful throughout the game that have worked at the distance you need, and that's exactly what they got done.
Now Gone. Over the middle, that's hauled in by Cup. And they'll bring him down at the 18-yard line. 7 yards to pick up on the pitch and catch.
I know many people like to throw to the tight end, maybe in a little flexed out position because he creates mismatches with his size. But slot receivers do the same thing with their quickness, their speed, and their route running savvy.
To throw again on 2nd down. Goff. Brandon Cooks, the receiver he was going after. And it's 3rd and short.
I think he's a little trigger happy right there, and it turned into an ill-advised throw into their zone.
Well, we know he has confidence. He'll throw it any place, anytime, anywhere. That time it fell incomplete. So the incomplete pass on the last play, and that leads us to a 3rd and 3. And he picks up the first down yardage as he takes this one down to the 15. They have the first down with that gain of 4 yards. Now, yes, a 2-possession game, but a good chunk of time on the clock, so they have the ability still there to run it on 2nd and short, but maybe they need to pick it up a bit.
You're right. They did pick up the first down there, but they, as you mentioned, they have to pick up the pace now because it's a 2-possession game. They've got to get there twice to make sure they have a chance.
And he's going to take this one in for a Rams touchdown. Brandon Cooks, his 6th touchdown of the season, as his guys are back within a single score.
I think if you polled defensive backs, they would say the corner route, take that out, make it illegal, because that is so hard to recognize and so hard to adjust because your first move is to not get beat in the middle of the field. And that's how they move you first before they break off to the corner.
But then as the wide receiver, great job. It's tough to turn those upfield and go, but he did a great job with it there.
Really good balance, really good body control. And how about the end result? A touchdown.
This one taken from the 7. They'll bring it back to just about the 25. Call it the 24-yard line. And out now come the Cowboys. They're holding on right now to that slim advantage in a one-score game. And you hear a lot about 2-minute offense and 4-minute offense. Obviously, the 4-minute offense applies here. How do they run that effectively?
Yeah, really what the 4-minute offense is you're just trying to grind the clock. So you want consistent gains, steady gains. Doesn't have to be big plays, But it has to be plays that gets first downs and keeps the ball away from your opponent.
But certainly throwing the ball is in the mix here.
It certainly is. Just make sure that you're careful with it. And again, get those first downs, keep possession of the football.
On the stop was Aaron Donald.
Brandon, you know how many times we've done games, and at the start of the fourth quarter, we see both teams hold up the four fingers, fourth quarter is ours. Well, how about this drive? You saw the four fingers for 4-minute offense, and this offensive line has really hunkered down and established themselves.
Now, this is where they say, put the game on our shoulders, we'll lead the way, right?
No doubt about it, and let me tell you, if you're a running back, all you want to do is get behind those big fellas, have a little vision, and find some space.
And a solid way to do that on the first play of the drive there. The battle in the trenches never more important than right now. This is 3rd and inches. Trying to run for it with Pollard. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. It's a gain of 12, and the Cowboys pick up the first.
Brandon, sometimes it just comes down to the power of suggestion, because I know exactly what they said all week long. We're coming off the open week. We'll have the fresher legs in the fourth quarter, and they will wilt when we get to that point. And right now, it appears that they're thinking that exact thing.
Yeah, offensively, they had the bye last week. Defensively, did not. Is that really a big factor? Is that more talk during the week?
I think the more that you talk about it, the more that you emphasize it, the more sometimes it comes true for your team.
They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway. Looking to throw. Rhodes forced out to his left. Fourth quarter, down to the final 2 minutes, and we've got a one-score game. So the Cowboys in possession of the football here as we get you reset. They're facing a critical 3rd down now as they try to hold on to this lead. On 3rd down, it's Pollard. And he's taken down inside the 30. And whistles, and we're going to have another stoppage of play as they call the timeout on defense with 1:53 left. Not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. First down, and it's Pollard again. Now the Rams will signal for a timeout, their second, as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming 2nd down play.
Let Zeke back in there.
So they come up on 2nd down, and they can get another run like we just saw. Would likely put an end to this thing. 10th carry now for Elliott. And he'll get it down this time to the 17.
Last time
the Rams going to be forced to use their 3rd and final timeout. And they'll be disappointed to have to burn one there after giving up the first down. All runs on this drive so far. It's 1st and 10.
We got 4. We got 4.
Elliott. And he'll go down here at the 12-yard line. 5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5. Able to stay in bounds, so the clock keeps rolling, and this defense right now backed up in the red zone. Another touchdown, it's over. They've got to stand tall quickly.
Been in this spot before. Now there's a little bit of desperation creeping in, and all you're doing when you're talking to your defensive teammates is first guy there, hold him up. Second, third guy in, rake at the football. Get it out. We got to create a turnover because one more score, and this game's over.
6 yards the pickup, and that's a first down.
All right, partner, I'm a defender, but I've got to express my admiration there. Moving around, making it happen, and instead of worrying about protecting himself, he goes and gets the first down. I've got to give it to him on that one.
Normally, you don't want your guy taking shots, your quarterback, but it's winning time here in the fourth quarter. If he needs to make those plays with the legs, go ahead, right?
Yeah, no doubt about it. At this stage of the game, all protections, they're off.
Now Elliott. And for one of the few times here today, this run's not going to go anywhere. They'll say no gain on the play, and it'll be second and goal. They come up here with another shot from the 6-yard line, and it's second and goal now. They'll try again with Elliott. And the hole closes quickly here. He can fight only to about the 4. After getting stuffed on first down, not much better there. 2-yard gain. Well, they've been so good on third down all day long. Can they convert another here on third and goal? So this one will end in a victory for the Dallas Cowboys. And you look back over the score sheet, interesting. A very clean game, no turnovers by either side.
An absolute rarity when we watch games now because defenses have put such an emphasis on taking the ball away.
Stay tuned on Facebook.
But what we saw here was offenses spending their time saying, look, you know they're coming for it. Ball security is paramount. So they worked on that not just a week of practice, but I'm sure all during training camp. Make sure when you have it, tuck it away because danger lurks everywhere you turn.
So for Dallas, the win moves them up to 5-2 now on the year. And they'll get another home date next week as the 49ers will come to town. Meanwhile, for L.A., they drop just their second game so far as they fall to 5-2. And they'll try to get back to their winning ways next week as they head to Lambeau to take on the Packers. I'm Brandon Gaudin. Certainly have to thank Charles Davis, my broadcast partner, and our entire crew. We'll catch you next time right here. It's the NFL on EA Sports.